in video also, right? So, yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Very good afternoon to everyone, right? Uh, you know, just okay. Almost majority of you have come. Very good. I will start discussing today, right? You all know aware that today what day? Anybody knows what day today? Any special day today?
Engineers Day.
Yeah,
Engineers
Engineers Day. Very good. Kumar Garu says it is Engineers Day. Okay. Whose birthday is being celebrated as Engineers Day? Anybody knows? Whose birthday we are celebrating
Mokshagundam
as
Vishwesharaya.
Engineers? Whose birthday, Ma? Naik book?
Mokshagundam Vishwesharaya.
Yeah, very good. Mochakunda Vishwesraya. Very good. You are aware of it. Already you are aware of it. Very good. Govindaraj, mute. Okay. So you are aware of Mochakundam Vishwesraya birthday is being celebrated as Engineers Day. Okay. Actually, civil engineering is called a mother branch of engineering, right? And we have all prestigious thing. The Mochakundam Mochakundam Vishwesraya, Sir Mochakundam Vishwesraya birthday is being celebrated as Engineers Day, who also a civil engineer. Okay, very big story if I want to talk about him. You know, he's the okay. That Krishna Sagar Dam is there in Karnataka, no? So that is a very nice project to mention. He has involved in many several projects, out of which to mention Krishna Sagar Dam of that Brindavanam, no, in Mysore. That we can tell in our Kaveri River, right? So that we can point out. Right. Today I will go to the Happy Engineers Day to everybody. I will come to our discussion today. Right. So today I have only a little bit information with me because I have not scanned further information. Whatever available, we will discuss it. Right. So yeah, we have seen the basic concept and other things of your BC Punya surveying. Okay, today we'll see how to classify, right? So what is the classifications here? Already we have seen the primary division of surveying, plane surveying and geodetic surveying that we have seen. What is the difference between them? In plane surveying, we don't take into account the curvature of the earth. Okay, in geodetic surveying, the curvature of the earth is taken into account. Obviously, plane surveys are carried out a smaller area. Smaller area means city survey within our city. Okay, within our city, if we do survey, most probably it will be comes under plane survey. We can treat the terrain as a plane surface, and we can do all linear measurement. The survey lines are straight line. Like that, we can do it. Okay. Suppose you are dealing with a very big project like microwave tower line, microwave line tower line, or railway line, or some highway line, and all. Okay. In such a case, some canal project. In such cases, we have to take into account because we are going to deal in larger areas. The curvature of the earth should be taken into account. That is categorized as geodetic survey. So that is the primary division of survey. Now we will see the classification of survey. Whether okay, classification of survey. If you look at right, actually the classification we do based on three things. One is nature of the field of survey, nature of the field of survey. Another one is based on the purpose of survey, the object of survey, object or purpose of survey. Another one is based on the instrument used in the surveying. Okay, under three heading, we can classify surveying. First, we will see the nature of the field. Okay, if there are three fields, one is land, water, sky. Okay. If the survey is carried out in land, we call it as land surveying. If it is carried out in water bodies, we call it as hydrographic surveying. If it is carried out in sky, astronomical survey. Okay. So in land surveying, there are three categories. Further, the land surveying is subdivided into three classification, which are topographical survey, cadastral survey, and city survey. What is topographical survey? Topographical survey consists of simply horizontal and linear measurement of certain points. Okay, in order to locate the feature of natural features on the ground, like canals, stream, lakes, water bodies, wooded areas, forests. To locate such natural features on the ground, we do this kind of topographical survey, and also artificial features like our cities, our roads, railways are lines are artificial features. Okay, can our roads, railway lines, cities, to locate those points? If we carry out survey, they comes under the category of topographical survey. Okay, and then cadastral survey. Cadastral survey are being carried out. Okay, we'll see here. First, let me to finish this one. This topographical survey, it is written here. This consists of horizontal and vertical location of certain points by linear and angular measurement. Okay, if you want to locate any point with the linear measurement also we can locate. In addition, with the linear measurement, it is required to do angular measurement also sometimes. Okay, by doing both the linear and angular measurement, easily we can locate the location of any features, points on the ground. Okay, that's what. And it is made to determine the natural features of the country, such as rivers, streams, okay, lakes, wooded area, hills, etc. And and also such artificial features as roads, railway, canal, towns and villages. Okay, that purpose the topographical survey is being carried out. Okay, to locate such natural and artificial features. And then cadastral survey. Cadastral surveys are made incident to the fixing of property lines. Actually, cadastral survey is to fix the property lines. Okay, plot area, land area, field, paddy field area, land area, plot area, even borders, district border, municipality borders, city, town borders, and then state borders and all. Okay, it is written here, well written here. Cadastral survey are made incident to the fixing of property lines, the calculation of land area, or the transfer of land property from one owner to another. They are also made to fix the boundaries of municipalities of state and federal jurisdictions. Okay, that's what. And then city surveying. City surveyings are being carried out for the construction of streets and water supply schemes, sewage schemes, and so on, right? That is comes under city survey. This way, based on the nature of the field, we do that land surveys are being done, okay? And then marine or hydrographic survey. Marine or hydrographic surveys are done for navigation purpose, even that dock and harbor work, right? See, here it is written. You can write it your own. You need not memorize as it is this textbook and write it during exam. Please, all of you keep it in mind. Whatever textbook you refer, whether you refer surveying by Punmiya or Agar or some other good textbook, Kanatkar and Kulkarni or some other, plenty of textbooks have come nowadays in the market available. Whatever book you refer, you read it and understand and try to explain in your own words. Okay, you need not memorize sentences available in the textbooks and reproduce it, not necessary. But certain terminologies you should memorize, okay? And you have to write accordingly. It should convey exactly what it is, okay? So, marine or hydrographic survey deals with the bodies of water for the purpose of navigation, water supply, harbor works, okay? And for determination of mean sea level. Even hydrographic surveys are being carried out in order to determine the mean sea level also, okay? The work consists in measurement of discharge of streams, making other unnecessary. So, few points if you write more than sufficient. Okay, this is the explanation for marine or hydrographic surveying. Next, astronomical survey. Astronomical surveys are being carried out to get the observed location of points on the ground, on the earth. Okay, observed location of points. How do you get observed location of points with respect to heavenly bodies such as sun and stars? Okay, they are fixed. No, they are fixed as fixed stars and sun. They are fixed. With the reference to such heavenly bodies, we did locate the absolute location of certain points on the earth. Okay, so for such purpose, astronomical surveys are carried out. Okay, but in your syllabus you don't have astronomical survey. You need not worry at all. Next, we also do classification based on the object or purpose of the survey. What purpose we carry out the survey? Accordingly, we have it can be categorized as engineering survey, military surveys. If the surveying is carried out for engineering purpose, engineering survey. Military purpose, military survey. Some mining work, exploration of mineral purpose, mine survey. And geological survey to study about the strata, exploration of earth, okay, soil strata beneath the earth. If that work is carried out, geological survey. And then archaeological survey, okay. That's what is written here. So engineering survey, this undertaken for the determination of quantities or to afford sufficient data for the designing of engineering work such as roads and reservoirs, or those connected with sewage disposal or water supply. Okay, for such work, engineering survey. You can write in your own words. No need to worry. Okay, just you read it and write in your own sentences and your own points also. Doesn't matter. Military survey. This is used for determination of points of strategic importance. Okay, some important points, strategic locations in the military purpose. Okay, for for defense, for the defense, which point is easier to attack them, how to attack such strategic points. No, to determine that kind of points. This military survey, if the survey is carried out for that purpose, called military survey. And mine survey. This is used for exploring mineral wealth, right? And then geological survey. This we have Geological Survey of India. Geological Survey of India. That is the organization, central organization, no, big organization. IES officer, Indian Engineering Service. Those who qualified in Indian Engineering Service will be the surveyor of that one. Okay, Geological Survey of India they join, right? And a drilling engineer for mine survey and all. This is used for determining different strata in the Earth's crust. And then archaeological survey. This is used to for unearthing relics of antiquities. Okay. Nowadays, such works are being carried in Tamil Nadu. That is carried out Sindhu. Okay, Sindhu Harappa. Such archaeological survey we carried out. No, so that we keep it in mind. Now, what I want to say, actually, the surveying subject is supposed to be discussed by, as I told you, geotechnical engineers or at least transportation engineers. Okay, many institute, if you take a nearby institute, Annamalai University, there is a structural engineering division, civil and structural engineering division, and civil engineering division. The civil engineering department takes care of the survey. Okay, those who are specialized in geotechnical engineering and other water source engineering will be transportation engineering will be dealing it everywhere, all over the India. Nowhere structural engineer will handle surveying subject. Okay. But in our college, some faculty member are not realizing. I want to take this opportunity to record my objection as well as unhappiness, because my favorite subject is engineering mechanics. Okay, I'm very strong in that engineering mechanics because structural engineer is supposed to teach you. The reason is, please, why sir talks all those things during the class? Don't think mistaken. Actually, the teacher who can teach. It doesn't mean that the others can't teach. Okay, it doesn't mean that the others can't teach a subject like engineering mechanics. Right now, certain geotechnical specialized faculty member is handling engineering mechanics for you, but the same teacher cannot teach you its continuity subjects like mechanics of materials, or mechanics of solids, or structural analysis. Okay, or structural design. He can't do that. Okay, when he can't do the continuity subject, he can't teach. How the college gives the basic subject to him, I don't know. A teacher who is specialized in structural engineering, who is capable of teaching the continuity of engineering mechanics. Engineering mechanics is the basic subject. Okay, and then its continuity is mechanics of solids, advanced one. Okay, mechanics of materials, structural analysis, structural design, steel design, concrete design, and other allied subjects, pre-stressed concrete design. Okay, matrix method of structural analysis. The teacher who can teach the continuity of those subjects supposed to handle you engineering mechanics. Okay, but our college do a lot of mistakes. Certain faculty members are not at all realizing, who are sitting in responsible position is not at all realizing it. Okay, right, no problem. Next, classification based on instrument used. I will come to that. An alternate classification may be based upon the instrument, right? So accordingly, we have chain survey. If you use the instrument chain to carry out survey, chain surveying, theodolite surveying. Okay, so there's a beautiful instrument called theodolite. Okay, later we will introduce you what is theodolite survey. We are going to see under separate chapter. Okay, what is separate unit, theodolite survey. This is going to be very interesting, right? Which is used to do angle measurements. Okay, traverse survey, traversing, and triangulation survey, tachometric survey, plane table survey, photographic survey, and aerial survey. These are the various classification of survey based on the instrument used. Okay, we are categorizing. The book mainly deals with the principles and method of above types. In your syllabus also going to deal with these types only, these classifications only. Okay, so in your syllabus we are going to see surveying, all the surveying. First, you are going to see chain surveying. I am going to discuss in detail with you chain surveying, how to carry out chain surveying. I am going to discuss. Afterwards, how to do theodolite surveying. Using theodolite, how to carry out surveying, that we are going to see in detail. In that chain, while discussing with the chain surveying and theodolite surveying, I am going to tell you how to do traversing. Okay, called traversing. How to run a traverse and do this one, right? And then we have another surveying method called as a triangulation survey, and then tachometric survey, steady hair method, tachometric survey, a plane table survey. Actually, the plane table survey is a very interesting one, okay? But that is not, earlier it was there. Now people realize that is a waste of time because they want to simplify, not simplify, how to say, give the syllabus in a compact manner, more compact manner. So they removed the plane table survey. Photographic survey of on aerial survey and all is not there in your syllabus. Plane table survey, photographic survey, and aerial survey are not there in your syllabus. Only up to tachometric survey you are going to study in this subject. These are going to be the principal subject matter of your surveying subject here. Okay, now I will tell you principles of surveying. Next, this is very important. Principle. What is the principle of survey? The principle of the surveying is two things. One is location of a point by measurement from 2 points of reference. Okay, that is the main principle. If you want to locate any point on the earth, okay, in order to prepare plan or map of an area, okay, what is my plan and map of an area? Suppose the area is given to you, you have to locate the points. Points means features. They have to, suppose you want to prepare the plan or map of our college campus, where the civil engineering department building is there, chemical building is there, the roadways, okay, and then hostel buildings. These are called feature points, no? Features. To fix those points, you require some reference points, right? So that's what. Location of a point by measurement from 2 points of reference. Suppose somebody asks you, where are you doing your BTech degree program? Pondicherry Engineering College. Where it is? It is in Pondicherry city, Puducherry. Pondicherry, where it is? Suppose somebody asks you, okay, you are from North India, somebody asks you there. How do you say, do you know? Immediately you will ask him, do you know Madras or Chennai? Do you know Chennai? They will say, yes, yes, I know. Yeah. From Chennai, you go down, south, towards south. Okay. South down you go. It is 150, 160 kilometer from Chennai city towards along east coast towards south. Okay, you will tell the location of Puducherry to them. No, suppose some person doesn't know where it is. He asks you, where is that Puducherry? He asks you, but immediately you will ask him some well-known point. Do you know Chennai? They will say, yeah, I know. Immediately they will recall the India map and Chennai location. Yeah, you go down 160 kilometer down along the east coast. There the city Puducherry is located. Likewise, we are locating no point with respect to the reference city, Chennai, right? Similarly, location of a point by measurement from 2 points of reference. That is the first principle. How it can be done? See, we run a traverse line. Suppose if you want to locate a point, what we do, there are points in an area. We run a network, okay, a survey line, like in this direction one line, this and then another direction line will change. The line direction will change. Line, okay, we call them as traverse, some close network. In between, we can join, okay. I will come to that later. Detailed discussion later. I will come. From that survey line, you take any point here, right? PQ, whose locations are known along this chain line, right? From this, if you want to locate the point R, you have to measure PR and PQ, and you can locate that point on your map. In a paper, you have this PQ line. Okay, a survey line you have, that you know the position of point P and Q on it. From this, you have done measurement already in the field. Measure the linear measurement you have done. You measure that distance here, put an arc. You measured PR. With that length, put an arc. The point of intersection of that arc will be the location of point R. This way, we can locate. That is one of the way. Okay. The another way is your survey line is there. Okay, called a traverse line, survey line, main survey line or traverse line is there. In that, you know, you are going along that one. The position of SA is known to you. you are putting a device called offset, okay, cross draft. You put a device called a cross draft. With the help of the cross draft, it's a very simple instrument, okay. You can, later I will introduce that. Putting that, you can get a perpendicular line here. This is called perpendicular offset, okay. You can measure this length SR. So from this line, you can take perpendicular line, and you already measured it, both angular and linear measurement. Using cross draft, you are choosing perpendicular one, okay. In the perpendicular direction, you are measuring the distance to R. That linear measurement you have done. With that, you can locate from your survey line, which is already plotted on a map, okay. And this point, a new point R can be located. That is another way. Another way is in the control point P and Q, not control point, reference point P and Q. From Q, you can do angular measurement using any device, compass or theodolite. This is the angular measurement. Then you measure the distance between Q and R, linear measurement. Thus, you can locate, okay, in a plan or map, you can locate this point R. Another way is, instead of going for linear measurement, choose to point P and Q on your survey line. From this, you measure the angle to the point R, okay, angle made by this line with to the point R, this line, angle, this angle, though you shown no, this angle also you measure. For that, you can use a device called compass or theodolite, anything, okay, angular measurement we are doing. This way also, we can plot the point in a map, okay. I hope you will understand. It's a simple mathematics, simple geometrical figures, you will understand easily. Another one is, from here you make linear measurement, from here you make angular measurement. This way also we can locate the point. There are several ways of locating a point. That is location of a point by measurements from two points of reference. Location of a point from by measurement from 2 points of reference. That is important. Okay, that is one principle. The another principle is working from the whole to the part. That I want to say. What is that? Yeah, whatever I discussed, told you, it has been explained here. That figure, whatever you have seen in that figure, that is explained here. The next important principle is working from the whole to the part. What it means? See, if you want to prepare plan or map of an area, what we do, first we fix major control points, okay, with high precision. Here, suppose in this monitor, just you see, here you fix one point, okay, here another point, here another point, larger area, we are fixing certain points. They are called major control points with high precision. We run the survey line, okay, we are joining the points with survey line. We are running our survey line, that is same survey line, by connecting the points, okay. Thus, we are getting a network. That network is called traverse line, okay. And then we also can fix some minor control point with a comparatively lesser precision. From the main control points, we can join those points. Thus, we will be getting a network consists of lot of triangles, okay, consists of lot of triangles, triangular line, triangular traverse lines. That is your survey line. You are running survey line. From that, as I told you, from two reference points, you can do measurement to the points whose location has to be located. Okay, the points which is required to be located. You can do measurement from two control points on the survey line to that point. Thus, what we do the survey, we are doing survey from working. We are working from whole to the part. Okay, to prepare plan of an area or features on the terrain, we run such a big line from whole. We are moving towards the part and locating small one. This way, we are avoiding the accumulation of error. If you work from the part to the whole, what will happen in the survey? If you work from part to survey is carried out from point to the whole area, what will happen? The error involved will be get accumulated. Whenever we do some measurement, there are going to be instrumental error, human error, and so on. That error will be get accumulated. Okay, but in the principle of surveying, if you work from whole to the part, what will happen? The accumulation of error will be avoided. It will be get minimized. Okay, because the accumulation will not happen because we are working from the whole towards we are moving to the part of the feature. Okay, the points. That's what the second ruling principle of surveying, whether plane or geodetic, is to work from whole to the part. It is very essential to establish first a system of control points and to fix them with a high precision. minor control points can then be established by comparatively lesser precision. It's not that lesser precision, it is also high precision, maybe comparatively less precision method. And the details can then be located using these minor control points, okay, by running minor traverse lines, by running minor traverses. Traverses means traverse lines. By joining that minor points, you'll be that network is called traverses, okay, traverses or traverse lines, okay, which is nothing but triangular. A triangular network you'll be getting. The idea of working in this way is to prevent the accumulation of errors and to control and localize minor errors which otherwise would expand to a great magnitude if the reverse process is followed, thus making the work uncontrollable at the end. Okay, that's what is discussed here. If you work from whole to the path, we can avoid the accumulation of error. Moreover, we can localize the error, okay, within the triangle, within the traverse, within the triangulation. I mean, the triangular traverse, okay, within a small traverse line. We can localize the error. The error will not affect the nearby network, nearby traverse line, okay, I mean the triangle. Finally, ultimately, the area will be divided into several triangles, okay. I hope you will understand. Next class, if required, I will draw some sketch and I will scan it and project and discuss. That will be easy for you. Today, I thought of, after finishing this, I thought of starting chain surveying. Okay, I want to introduce the metric chain and what are the accessories used in it, and how to run a chain survey, how to range a line, all such things I thought of discussing today, but I forgot to scan the notes, right? No problem. Tomorrow, next class, coming Thursday class, definitely, meanwhile, I will scan it and we will discuss in detail, okay? I will finish today class. Only half an hour I have taken, more than sufficient, okay? So I want to finish today class. I will take attendance, few minutes. Just let me to take attendance, record your attendance. Almost 33 of you are attending. Very good attendance, excellent attendance. I'm so happy. Out of 37, 33 of you are present here. Okay, so I'm so happy to see your sincerity. Very good student, highly motivated student. I'm sorry, but I'm busy with some other work. So it's being recorded. No, we'll discuss it later. Right. First, let me to record your names. Later we'll discuss. After stopping recording, I will discuss with you. I will tell the other points to you, right? So your names are well recorded. For attendance purpose, I have recorded your names, right? So in the video, I can see your names. I can note down attendance, right? Very good. So it has been recorded well, right? So I will stop recording. Then I will discuss if anything. If you want to discuss with me, you can discuss, right? Okay, stop recording.